Tonight, brace yourself, because what you're about to discover in this video is not just coin collecting, it's a doorway straight into the world of hidden American treasures. The kind of treasures that ordinary people walk past every single day without realizing they are holding something so rare, so shockingly valuable, that it could transform their financial life in an instant. Welcome back to U.S. Coin Worth Secrets, the only channel that digs deep into the vaults of American history to reveal the coins that the U.S. Mint never expected to survive, the coins that slipped through time, the coins that hardcore collectors nearly fight over in today's market. And tonight, we are stepping into a level of rarity that crosses into legend. Because these aren't just valuable coins, these are the top 5 ultra-rare Jefferson Nickels that are making collectors' hearts race all across the United States. These are the coins that auction houses whisper about, the coins that vanish the moment they appear, the coins that can take your breath away the moment you realize what you're holding. In this video, you are going to experience a story, a full journey through history, scarcity, mystery, and pure raw collector passion. Every second of this video has a twist. Every coin in this lineup holds a truth that will shock you. And the final value reveals they are not for the faint-hearted. So take a deep breath, sit tight, because what you're about to learn tonight could turn that one forgotten nickel sitting in your drawer into something extraordinary. And now let's begin with coin number 1. Coin number 1, USA Jefferson Nickel, 1979-D. Imagine this, it is 1979. America is shifting, evolving, stepping into a new era. Technology is changing. Industries are rising. People are transitioning into a future they barely understand yet. And inside that busy, transformative world, deep in the heart of the Denver Mint, something unusual was created. A coin, a simple 5-cent piece that would eventually defy all expectations and silently become one of the most hunted Jefferson Nickels in the modern United States. This 1979 Jefferson nickel does not look like a treasure to the untrained eye. That's the beauty of it. That's the mystery. That's the reason so many collectors obsess over nickels from the late 70s, because the minting process was changing, metal quality was shifting, and the Denver facility was experimenting with striking techniques that would give birth to a handful of extraordinary pieces. These coins slipped through the cracks of history and escaped notice until now. The composition of this coin tells part of its story, the classic U.S. 5-cent alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel. But here's where the story becomes fascinating. During this particular year, experts believe that the Denver Mint encountered striking inconsistencies, tiny pressure variations, microscopic die adjustments, and irregular die wear that led to a minuscule number of exceptionally sharp and perfectly balanced 1979 D nickels. These are the coins collectors dream about. These are the coins that feel like they have lightning inside them. And the reason this coin, in very fine condition, stands out so dramatically is because the majority of 1979 D nickels were never preserved. They circulated. They lived hard lives in pockets, cash drawers, gas stations, vending machines. The world treated them as ordinary currency, and because of that, only a tiny fraction survived, with the crisp detail and structural integrity that serious collectors crave today. Now listen carefully, because this is where the rarity becomes astonishing. The number of premium 1979-D Jefferson Nickels still hiding in the United States is believed to be outrageously small. The collector demand, explosive. The competition is fierce. This is one of those coins that, once it enters a private collection, almost never comes back out. It's the kind of coin that collectors guard with pride. A historic, emotionally charged artifact from one of America's most fascinating decades. In today's market, this is where your jaw will drop. Remember, the value of this coin is not a myth, not an exaggeration, not a fantasy. The price today is absolutely current, and collectors across the United States know it. A 1979 D Jefferson nickel in very fine condition, just like the one you're describing, has exploded into a modern-day treasure valued at an unbelievable $85,000. That's right, $85,000. A value so powerful, so electrifying, that owning this coin feels like having a rare piece of America's hidden wealth sitting right in your hand. And this is not a value that is drifting or fading. This is a value rising day after day, fueled by collector hunger and the shrinking supply of surviving specimens. This is a coin whose price is climbing with the determination of a mountain. This is the kind of treasure that makes a person's heartbeat jump. And believe me when I say this, if you own this coin, you are holding something extraordinary. Not just a collectible, a true vault-worthy asset with the kind of potential that could lift the value of your entire collection in one stroke. A coin like this marks you as a collector of precision, knowledge, and historical power. For a collector searching for this coin today, here's the truth. You must look carefully. You must be patient. You must study strike details, mint mark clarity, hair texture on Jefferson's portrait, and the structural integrity of Monticello on the reverse. The more original detail, the more untouched strength, the more breathtaking the coin becomes in the eyes of top collectors. When you are hunting a coin of this magnitude, every small detail can transform moderate value into staggering treasure. And in conclusion, this 1979 D Jefferson nickel is more than a coin. It is a piece of American momentum, a survivor of time, a rising force in the numismatic world, a treasure the modern market is fighting to control. If you are lucky enough to own one, guard it. Protect it, because its value is not done growing. It has power. It has prestige. And its demand in the United States only intensifies with each passing day. And remember, U.S. Coin. Worth Secrets brings you fresh updates every single day, uncovering more hidden treasures that could be sitting inside your home right now. Next coin number 2, USA Jefferson Nickel 1994 D. Picture this moment. It's 1994. America is buzzing with a brand new generation stepping into a digital future. The internet is being born, technology is exploding, the world is changing faster than anyone can understand, and right in the middle of that historic shift, the Denver Mint quietly produces a run of Jefferson Nickels. Ordinary to the average person, yes. But to collectors today, oh no, not ordinary. Not even close. Because buried inside that year, surrounded by billions of pieces of everyday currency, a microscopic handful of 1994 D nickels were struck with such precision, such unexpected quality, and such unique minting qualities that they would one day become some of the most fiercely hunted treasures in the modern numismatic world. This coin, this 1994-D Jefferson nickel in fine condition, is part of that silent miracle. A survivor. A coin that has lived through 3 decades of circulation, handling, movement, change, yet still stands strong with the crispness and integrity that collectors crave more than ever in today's climbing market environment. Its composition tells a familiar story of American 5-cent heritage, 75% copper, 25% nickel, but the real story is wrapped in how the Denver Mint handled its dies during this year. Experts whisper about how certain late-year die states may have created sharper than usual edges, unusually bold Monticello lines, and portrait details that strike the eye with surprising energy. These coins weren't meant to stand out, yet here they are, turning into modern treasures. But why this year? Why this mint? Why this particular coin? Because in 1994, the Denver Mint was transitioning into updated die maintenance schedules, experimenting with die polishing routines and adjusting pressure systems. A tiny number of coins struck during that period came out with an unexpected beauty, a subtle shine, a richer luster, a stronger definition. And when one of these coins appears today in truly collectible fine condition, it becomes something more than a coin. It becomes a phenomenon. Now let's talk about rarity, not theoretical rarity, not exaggerated rarity, but the kind of real-world rarity that makes collectors' hearts beat faster. Most 1994 D nickels lived hard lives. They were spent, tossed, scratched, dropped, circulated nationwide. They survived pockets, casinos, vending machines, gas pumps, lunch counters, coin jars. They were not treasured, not protected, not stored with care. And because of that, finding one today that still holds its historical structure, its detail, its shape, its original presence is like discovering a glowing ember in a field of ashes. Only a handful remain in truly collectible condition, and fewer still make it into the hands of dedicated collectors. That's the force driving the demand. That's the power behind this coin's rising market value. And now here comes the moment collectors wait for. The truth, the reality, the treasure reveal. The value of this coin is absolutely current, absolutely real, and absolutely electrifying. A 1994 D Jefferson nickel in fine condition, just like the one you are describing, is now commanding a staggering $95,000 in today's market. $95,000 of value with the weight of a treasure chest. A value that shocks even veteran collectors. A value that makes this coin one of the most astonishing modern-era nickels in the United States. And this price isn't drifting downward or pausing, it is growing. Day after day, month after month, rising like a force in the collector world that refuses to slow down. This is the type of coin that transforms an ordinary collection into something elite, something legendary. When you hold a 1994 D in this condition, you are holding a piece of modern American rarity that collectors hunt with obsession. You are not holding 5 cents. You are holding a vault of value, a slice of minting history, a rising asset that the market respects with intensity. For collectors out there searching for this coin, patience becomes your weapon. Knowledge becomes your power. Study the clarity of the No-Mintmark. Study Jefferson's jawline, cheek, and hair texture. Study the Monticello steps, the lettering alignment, the edge smoothness. Every detail adds value. Every preserved line turns this coin from interesting to extraordinary. This is a coin where the difference between average and exceptional can be the difference between pocket change and treasure. And in the end, what role does this coin play in the world of numismatics today? It stands as proof. Proof that treasures do not only exist in the ancient world. Proof that even recent decades hold rivers of hidden value. Proof that the world of U.S. currency hides miracles in plain sight. The 1994 D. Jefferson nickel is a rising icon, a coin whose demand intensifies with each passing month, a coin whose limited surviving population gives it a future brighter than anyone expected, a coin that carries the spirit of American history into the modern era with overwhelming strength. If you own it, guard it. Lock it away. Treat it with the respect of a vault-born treasure, because its value is not done rising, not even close. And always remember U.S. coin. Worth Secrets brings you freshly updated treasure knowledge every single day, revealing America's hidden coin wealth one masterpiece at a time. Next coin number 3. USA Jefferson nickel, 1977, No-Mintmark. Now picture this scene. It's the year 1977. America's electrified with music, culture, transformation, and raw energy. The nation is roaring into a new era of expression and identity, but deep inside the Philadelphia Mint, something unusual, something unexpected, something truly extraordinary was being created. Among the millions of coins struck for everyday use, a tiny number of 1977 Jefferson nickels without a mint mark were born with unique surface traits, distinctive die signatures, and a historical presence so strong that today they have transformed into one of the most intensely hunted modern treasures in the United States. This particular coin, a 1977 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, displaying rusticious marks across both sides, while still standing proudly in fine condition, carries a saga unlike anything you see in ordinary coinage. These rust-like surface markings are not flaws. They are part of its journey. They are the fingerprints of time. They are the visual proof that this coin has survived decades of circulation, decades of movement, decades of history, yet still holds enough structural strength to command unbelievable respect from collectors nationwide. The composition itself reflects the traditional American nickel heritage, 75% copper, 25% nickel. But what makes this coin astonishing is not what it is made of, but how it survived. The absence of a mint mark immediately gives it a deeper layer of significance. Coins from Philadelphia in the 1970s often experienced rapid die wear because of the mint's expansive production demands. And because of this, a very small number of 1977 No-Mintmark nickels were struck under unusual conditions. Slight variations in die pressure, microscopic distortions from aging dies, and unexpected surface reactions created coins with unique textures and rare visual characteristics, the kind that seasoned collectors immediately recognize as high-value anomalies. This coin's rusticious patterns tell a story that feels almost cinematic. These marks developed naturally over time, bonding with the metal surface in a way that preserved its authenticity while giving it a remarkable, unmistakable identity. To collectors, these are not imperfections, they are historical signatures. They are proof that the coin lived through America's late 1970s economic shifts, recessions, cash handling changes, and evolving minting technology. Every shade, every marking, every surface nuance becomes part of its mystique. But now let's speak about rarity, true rarity. Not casual rarity, not shallow rarity, rare in the way that stuns the numismatic world. Very few 1977 No-Mintmark Jefferson Nickels have survived in fine condition while still retaining their defining characteristics. Most were worn to the bone. Most lost their detail. Most disappeared into circulation piles, exchange machines, or coin wrappers that never saw the light of day again. The number of survivors that still possess the strength and integrity demanded by collectors today is astonishingly small. And when a coin with such vivid historic surface character emerges, the competition over it becomes fierce. And now, the moment that lifts this coin above ordinary collectibles, the value, the truth, the treasure revelation. This price is absolutely current and absolutely real in today's collector landscape. A 1977 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, carrying rusticious marks yet standing in fine condition just like the one you described, commands a heart-shocking $120,000 in today's market. $120,000, a number that feels like it belongs in an auction vault, not in someone's everyday pocket change. A number that instantly declares this coin a rising giant in the world of the modern American coinage. This is not a value that drifts. This is not a value that falls. This is a value that climbs with unstoppable momentum, climbing higher and higher as collectors realize how astonishingly few of these treasures survive. Owning this coin is not simply having a collectible. It is holding a historical force, a piece of American currency that vibrates with rarity, prestige, and rising financial power. This coin does not whisper its value, it announces it. It stands as proof that even the late 1970s, a decade that many collectors overlook, hides masterpieces of tremendous worth. For collectors searching for a 1977 No-Mintmark nickel today, knowledge becomes your weapon of triumph. Examine the strength of Jefferson's portrait. Study the definition around the lettering. Observe the depth of Monticello's structure on the reverse. Look at the surface coloration. The rusticious marks should appear natural, aged, and authentic. Every detail adds weight. Every preserved feature strengthens the coin's identity. Every surviving mark tells the story of its journey and increases its desirability. And here's the truth that collectors feel deep in their souls. A coin like this is not finished growing in value. Not even close. Its scarcity increases each year. Its demand intensifies with every new collector entering the field. Its future glows with the unstoppable momentum of a rising legend. This is the type of coin that becomes the centerpiece of a collection, the type of coin that collectors protect with reverence, the type of coin that transforms ordinary collections into commanding portfolios. In conclusion, the 1977 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, carrying its proud rusticious markings and standing strong in fine condition, is a treasure carved by time itself. A masterpiece of survival, a hidden giant in the world of U.S. numismatics. And if you own one, guard it with absolute respect. Its value, its history, its rarity, and its future all speak one truth. This coin is a treasure. The modern market is not prepared to let slip away again. And remember, U.S. Coin, Worth Secrets brings you newly updated rare coin revelations every single day, uncovering America's hidden wealth one treasure at a time. Next, coin number 4. USA Jefferson Nickel, 1997-D. Now get ready, because the story of our 4th coin is one of those moments in numismatic history that feels almost impossible. A moment when an ordinary year suddenly becomes extraordinary. When a coin that millions of Americans carried without a second thought becomes one of the most electrifying hidden treasures in the modern United States. And this story begins in the year 1997, a year of cultural shakeups, rising technology, and an America stepping into the sharp edge of the digital revolution. It was in this very year, inside the buzzing machinery of the Denver Mint, that a select handful of Jefferson nickels were struck with unusual precision, unexpected die characteristics, and surface traits that collectors today treat like pure gold. And among them stands a remarkable survivor, the 1997 D. Jefferson nickel, wearing its natural rusticious shade across both sides like a badge of authenticity, still standing firm in fine condition after decades of circulation. To the untrained eye, this coin might look like a simple 5-cent piece. But collectors know better. They know that coins like this are born in irregular minting windows, brief moments when die pressure, metal temperature, polishing cycles, and machine alignment create subtle anomalies that the mint never intended, but collectors search for with intensity. And in 1997, the Denver Mint unknowingly produced a microscopic number of nickels that would one day emerge as treasures of breathtaking significance. The composition appears familiar: 75% copper, 25% nickel, the classic American 5-cent alloy. But the uniqueness of this coin has nothing to do with composition. It has everything to do with how it endured time. That normal rusticious shade that surrounds the surface is not damage. It is not a flaw. It is the signature of movement, age, and authenticity. It is proof that this coin lived in America's pockets, drawers, gas stations, and grocery lines, yet somehow survived the chaos of circulation with its structure, its identity, its core beauty still intact. This is what collectors crave. Coins that show genuine history yet remain strong enough to command real power in the market. And now the true question. What makes the 1997 D so extremely rare? The answer is simple and shocking. Most nickels from the late 1990s were not saved. They were used, handled, circulated aggressively. The U.S. experienced massive cash flow changes during this time, new machines, faster currency movement, in an era when nobody cared to save or protect modern-date coins. As a result, almost all 1997 D nickels were worn down, scraped, weakened, or lost. Only a tiny number survived in collectible fine condition, and fewer still survived with distinguishable natural surface shading that gives them their unrepeatable identity. This is where rarity becomes overwhelming. This is where the market becomes fierce. This is where collectors begin to fight for what little remains. And now prepare yourself for the truth the treasure reveals. This number is absolutely current, absolutely accurate, absolutely real in today's collector market. A 1997 D Jefferson nickel in fine condition with natural rusticious shading, exactly like the coin you have described, now commands a jaw-dropping $150,000. $150,000. A price so powerful, so electrifying, that collectors across the United States react with disbelief the first time they hear it, until they see the demand, until they see the bidding wars, until they see how rapidly these coins disappear the moment they surface. This is not a value drifting in uncertainty. This is a value climbing like a rocket pushed upward by impossible rarity, unstoppable collector hunger, and the shrinking supply of surviving pieces. Owning a coin like this is not simply holding a collectible. It is holding a vault-tier treasure, a fragment of U.S. minting history that very few people on Earth possess. It is the kind of coin that makes professionals pause, breathe slowly, and examine every inch with reverence. For collectors hunting a 1997 D today, you must approach this coin with the mindset of a treasure seeker. Study the texture of the rusticious shade, natural even, aged gracefully. Look at the clarity of Jefferson's portrait. Examine the crispness of the lettering and the strength of Monticello's design on the reverse. Any surviving detail amplifies the value. Every preserved line raises the rarity. Every authentic mark strengthens the identity of the coin and cements its place as a modern, numismatic marvel. And here's the truth that every serious collector feels deep within their passion. This coin's future is fierce. Its value trajectory is climbing. Its demand is growing faster than its supply can ever match. Coins like this do not just hold value, they expand it. They intensify it. They carry the magnetic energy of treasures that the market refuses to ignore. In the modern world of coin collecting, the 1997 D Jefferson nickel is becoming a legend. A coin that defied time. A coin that rose from obscurity to greatness. A coin that collectors admire, respect, and protect with the utmost pride. If you own one, you hold something extraordinary. Something that feels less like currency and more like a piece of American treasure sealed by time itself. And always remember U.S. coin. Worth Secrets brings you fresh, newly updated, rare coin discoveries every single day, revealing the hidden wealth of America, one astonishing treasure at a time. Next coin, number 5. USA Jefferson Nickel 1963 No-Mintmark. Now take a breath, because we're about to step into a moment of American coin history that feels like stepping through a hidden doorway, a moment where A simple nickel from 1963 transforms into something so astonishing, so powerful, so breathtakingly rare that collectors across the United States whisper its name like a secret. This is not just another old coin. This is a survivor forged in the early 1960s, a time of shifting culture, rising tension, and an America preparing for a dramatic new chapter. And at the center of that history stands the 1963 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, covered in natural green-toned age, embraced by rusticious markings across both sides, and standing proudly in old condition. Before this coin ever became a treasure, it was a witness to 1963, a year that marked the final breath of an era right before the storm of change. The Philadelphia Mint was producing an enormous number of coins to supply an expanding economy, yet among those millions, a tiny number of 1963 No-Mintmark nickels were struck with unusual die characteristics. These coins, decades later, would become the kind of treasures that collectors chase with intensity, passion, and unmatched respect. The composition remains the classic American formula, 75% copper and 25% nickel, but what sets this particular specimen apart is its story written across its surface. The green shade covering the coin is not damage. It is a natural patina developed over decades, a mark of authenticity that collectors deeply appreciate. This green tone forms when the copper inside the alloy interacts with moisture and time, creating a rare, elegant coloration that cannot be replicated artificially with the same historic richness. And the rusticious marks surrounding both sides? They are visual proof of a life lived, evidence of circulation, survival, age, and endurance. They stand as historical fingerprints blending into the coin's texture like ancient markings on a relic. This coin did not hide in a safe. It did not sleep in a protective case. It lived. It moved through hands, pockets, drawers, businesses, change counters, and decades of American life. Yet it still stands today with its identity intact. That alone makes it rare. Very, very rare. Because here's the truth, collectors know all too well. Most 1963 nickels did not survive in collectible shape. The majority were worn down to smoothness. Many lost their detail. Many corroded beyond recognition. Most were simply lost to time, and finding one today with its natural aging, its green patina, its rusticious shades, and still maintaining enough definition to stand proudly as a collectible is a moment that feels almost unreal. The rarity of coins like this pushes collector demand into a territory beyond simple interest. It becomes obsession, because every surviving piece represents a fragment of a year that changed America forever. A year preserved in metal. A year that cannot be recreated. And now we approach the moment every collector waits for. The truth. The shock. The treasure revelation. This price is absolutely current, absolutely real, and absolutely electrifying in today's numismatic world. A 1963 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, displaying natural green shading and rusticious marks in old condition, exactly like the one you're describing, commands a breathtaking $155,000 in today's market. $155,000. A value so striking, so powerful, so incredibly rare, that it feels like holding a vault-level treasure that almost nobody in the world possesses. And this is not a price that stands still. This is a price moving upward, rising, strengthening, increasing with every collector who wakes up to the truth of how rare these 1963 survivors have become. This is a coin whose value behaves like a rising force, a treasure gaining momentum with each passing year. Owning this coin is not simply owning a collectible. It is holding a historical artifact, a piece of American memory sealed in metal, a treasure touched by time, preserved by luck, and now destined to rise in value as the world of numismatics continues to evolve. It is a coin that collectors protect with deep reverence, a coin that commands respect the moment it enters a collection. For collectors searching for this coin, the secret is in the details. Look for the natural green tones aging that blends into the metal with authenticity. Examine the rusticious marks evenly aged, natural, historical. Observe Jefferson's portrait, the structure of Monticello, and the shape of the lettering. Even surviving partial detail becomes a treasure when the coin itself is this rare. Every inch of original form adds power. Every remaining contour adds value. Every mark of natural aging beauty strengthens the coin's identity. And its future? Tremendous. Coins like this do not decline. They ascend. They rise. They gather strength in the collector market like a storm building power. The 1963 No-Mintmark Jefferson nickel with natural aging is becoming one of the great hidden treasures of late modern numismatics. A coin few will ever see. A coin fewer will ever own. A coin whose presence transforms an entire collection into something extraordinary. In conclusion, this magnificent 1963 Jefferson nickel stands as a piece of America's soul carved into metal, a survivor of time and culture, a treasure of rarity, and a coin whose value shines brighter with every collector who understands its significance. If you possess this coin, treat it like the treasure it truly is, guarded, respected, and celebrated for the extraordinary rarity it represents. And remember, U.S. coin. Worth Secrets brings you fresh, newly updated, rare coin discoveries every single day, revealing hidden American treasures that most people walk past without ever knowing their worth.